Greene, USA.
Yo 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 yo.
Good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning, DJ MV.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Thursday.
Yes, it's Thursday. Good morning.
What's happening? How y'all feeling out there?
Oh man, how y'all feeling? I feel great.
Yeah, you do.
Feel good too.
I do.
That's good.
You know, yesterday I had I've been telling y'all I've been complaining about myself snoring. I've been snoring ever since the pandemic hit. I've been snoring a lot and been very nasally. So yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, they gave me these pills to take and it cleared it right up. So the doctor, when I went back to the doctor today, he was like, "Well, I can't keep you on those pills forever, so I have to have surgery on my nose to take." I guess I got polyps in my nose somehow, some way, but they don't know where it came from. They don't know if it came from the pandemic, if it was COVID or the vaccine. They don't know because it just really came the last 2-3 years. So I gotta have a surgery, man, which sucks.
That sucks.
Now,
so you're gonna come in
listen,
here, your nose is gonna look different?
No, they're not gonna touch my nose, you dumbass. They're gonna just take the
Damn.
polyps.
Whoa.
Make your nose. No, I'm not getting a nose job. You see how she just threw a nose job on me?
So why they had to go on your ass? Because yesterday you kept saying how you had to go for your prostate, right?
No, they did my nose. What are you talking about, ass? Well, like, what is that? The first thing in my
No, because I'm 44.
Mm-hmm.
You 77, and we talked about because I went to go get a colonoscopy consultation.
Mm-hmm.
They told me to come back when I'm 45.
To tell you come back in the year?
No, they're like, "Oh, get your ass out of here. Come back when you're 45." But you went yesterday again, right?
Yeah, I went yesterday again. I had to go there too. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So they had to go on your ass to fix your nose?
They didn't go on my ass yesterday, Charlamagne. Is that the first thing that's on your mind? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Is that the first thing that's on your mind?
I didn't
is my
hear
ass?
you complaining about your nose yesterday. You kept complaining about that. That's what you was worried about yesterday.
I was not worried about it. But yes,
you were excited.
I was not excited, man. What
you
is
were.
wrong
You
with
kept
y'all?
talking about it.
I was
and you kept
nervous.
saying, and then you kept being like, "You coming with me? You gonna come
I
with
was
me?"
asking Charlamagne to come with me because I was scared and nervous. But
No, it sounded like
I'm not your support animal, sir.
yeah, you're not my support animal.
I am not your
I can't put the
support
vest
animal.
on you and take you with me.
I am not your emotional support animal, sir.
Yes, but I have 6 kids, so I'm always worried about my health. So anytime I can do anything to make sure that I'm free of anything that can hurt me or kill me, I absolutely positively go. So yeah, no, it was a consultation to just tell you what happens, what you need to do, what you need to be prepared for, and all that other stuff. Very scary.
They told me to come back when I'm 45. So I'm getting a second opinion, but they told me to come back when I'm 45.
You want a second or third opinion? I can do 2 or 3. Which one?
Man, shut up, man. All right? I got time for this nonsense.
Well, you know what? Actually, shout to Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz actually recommended the doctor to go to. So he was the one that told me that.
Can you trust Dr. Oz's recommendation right now in 2022? What is Dr. Oz going to do now that he lost that Senate race?
continue being a doctor.
You think he just going to try to go back to normal and act like people ain't see what they just saw?
Well, we are going to talk about Dr. Oz, though.
He can't. But he sold his. I thought he sold his New York crib and moved to Pennsylvania and all that other stuff. He got rid of the show.
Ain't no need for him to be in Pennsylvania now.
He'll come right back.
Yeah, what's the point of being in Pennsylvania now? You might as well stay in Jersey.
He don't live in Jersey, Pennsylvania, bro. Remember, he was from Westchester. He lived in Westchester. He was living in Westchester all these years, I believe. Or upstate New York somewhere.
Oh, I thought no.
Well, I'll tell you about Dr. Oz's statement here.
I was definitely living in New Jersey because I remember the campaign ads Fetterman was running was clowning him for living in Jersey.
Why are we talking about where he lives?
Pennsylvania.
Why are we telling everybody where he used to live?
It was in a commercial. It was in an ad. I mean, it's not like they had his address. They just said New Jersey's a big place, bro.
You're right. All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Chico Bean will be joining us this morning.
My guy, Chico Bean from the 85 South Show. You know, you can listen to the 85 South Show on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network, and they got their own subscription channel, Channel 85, along with a lot of other dope stuff that they do. Their live shows are amazing. Chico's on Wildin' Out. He's on my late night show, Hell of a Week. He does my field correspondence, so always great to build with Chico Bean.
All right, well, we're going to kick it with Chico Bean, and we got front page news. What we talking about?
Yes, and we are going to talk about a couple of different things. We'll talk about Dr. Oz, since you guys were just discussing him. You know, he did lose to Fetterman in Pennsylvania, so what's next? We'll tell you the statement that he did put out after that loss. And then we'll talk about another Republican, Andy Biggs, in Arizona, and something that he did that was disgusting.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. All right, now last night the Lakers played the Clippers. They lost. The Nets played the Knicks. The Nets won last night. Yeah, 112-85.
LeBron said they won. LeBron said the Lakers won last night, and the Lakers are having a terrific season.
He definitely did not say
That's
that. He
what LeBron
actually
said.
left the game a little early because he had a sore leg or sore groin, I believe.
Now, how can we trust LeBron's leg was sore now? After seeing all them memes and stuff about LeBron lying, I can't trust nothing LeBron say no more.
Yeah, well.
And we got a new coach for the Nets.
We got a new coach for the Nets, yeah, so he won his first game, all right? Now, also, Thursday Night Football! Atlanta Falcons take on the Carolina Panthers at 8:15 tonight.
All right, now let's talk about election stuff as we're still waiting to see who has control of Congress. Now, Andy Biggs, he actually won in Arizona, and he had some things to say in his speech. He actually made an awful, terrible, disgusting, tasteless, and unfunny joke about Nancy Pelosi's husband. As you know, he was attacked in their home with a hammer. He's out of the hospital now, fortunately, but here's what he said.
We're going to show Nancy Pelosi the door very shortly. Don't let it hit you on the backside, Nancy. Yeah, she's losing the gavel but finding the hammer. Too soon? Is that too soon?
Too soon.
I didn't know. Wow. I just didn't know.
Too soon.
Was that Darnell? Jeez.
I mean, that was good for his audience. I'm sure
that's very
that
classless. That's disgusting. To make a joke, it doesn't matter if this is an election or whatever. That's a human being. That could happen to anybody, and we shouldn't be encouraging or joking about violence.
Disgusting.
You know what's so funny? Let me tell you what's so funny about that. Mm-hmm. Ted Cruz at the World Series parade the other day. Ted Cruz got a can of White Claw thrown at him, like a full can, right? Mm-hmm. That can hurt you if it hits you, right? Mm-hmm. Every late night host had jokes about it. And I literally said, well, damn, if that was a Democrat, people would have said that's another act of political violence. So it's like literally both sides do it.
I mean, Paul Pelosi was in the hospital he had surgery for a skull fracture.
I get it.
And they came to his her home, threatened to kidnap Nancy Pelosi and break her kneecaps.
I get it.
I don't know if those two are comparable.
I'm not saying they're comparable. I'm just saying that if that can would have hit Ted, people would have still been making jokes. Like especially late night hosts are making jokes now, but if that still is an act of political violence, throwing a full can of something at somebody.
All right, well, I just definitely thought that was disgusting and tasteless. And Dr. Oz, in the meantime, was tasteful. He actually called John Fetterman to concede. And he also released a statement. He said, this morning I called John Fetterman and congratulated him. I wish him and his family all the best, both personally and as our next United States Senator. Campaigning throughout our great Commonwealth was the honor of a lifetime, and I will cherish the memories and the people I met. Pennsylvanians showed up with passion and a vision for a bright future that I found inspiring every day. I want to thank my supporters, so many of whom work tirelessly to spread our message and support me and my family. We are facing big problems as a country, and we need everyone to put down their partisan swords and focus on getting the job done. And then he also said, as a doctor, I always do my best to help others heal. That's why I ran for Senate. I hope we begin the healing process as a nation soon.
I just want to know what Dr. Oz is going to do next.
He's a doctor.
He is a doctor. He is a doctor, but he ain't got to do nothing. Dr. Oz is straight. You know that.
Yeah, he's definitely filthy rich.
Yeah, he's filthy. He ain't got to do nothing, but he's a doctor. Like, he's a real doctor. I think he goes in, 1 day a week or 2 days a week and does surgeries.
And in Georgia, that race is going to go to a runoff between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker on December 6th. Neither one of them surpassed the 50% threshold to win the race outright.
All right.
Well, I mean, and also, too, that has nothing to do with Herschel Walker or Ralph Warnock. It has to do with how people feel about the parties in that state, because we know the Republicans don't fall in love. They fall in line, and they know as long as there's a Republican in that Senate seat, he's going to do what the party wants him to do. So they're voting for the overall party, not Herschel Walker.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Chest. Whether you're man or blessed. Say it with your chest. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
So if you got something on your mind, lay it out.
All right, what's your name, bro?
Damien from Jersey.
All right, Damien, go ahead. Get it off your chest, bro.
I just want to get off my chest regarding Charlamagne mentioning that late night hosts take shots when it's a Republican, that's being attacked and stuff. And I just wanted to say that it's quite different, because the guy who made the comment regarding Nancy Pelosi's husband, he's in a role of a politician. Even if he was And I'm not saying that he was, but even if he was in the role of a comedian at one point in time, now turned politician, he's in the role of a politician where the late night hosts, those are comedians. They're entertained. So I think it's different. It's not in the same lane. As Charlamagne is seeming like he's trying to.
So you said he's not a comedian, he's a politician.
Absolutely.
Those jokes were terrible. He sounded like he was trying to sound like Trump too, and he was trying to get a presidential pardon for January 6th from Donald Trump, but he won.
Oh, we know politicians don't have any morals anymore. Like that got thrown out the window with Trump. So I mean, he's playing to his base. He's playing to his audience. His audience loves that kind of stuff.
I thought it was nice how Dr. Oz responded though and put out his statement. It's a big difference.
I mean, yeah, Dr. Oz isn't a politician.
He just was.
No, he wasn't. Really.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is T.
T, what's up? Get it off your chest.
Good morning. First and foremost, I want to just send a shout out to my baby sister. It's her birthday. And good morning, Angela Yee.
Good morning.
Charlamagne and DJ Envy.
Good morning, sir.
And also, DJ Envy, it was not good what you said to Angela Yee about your nose. I know you got to get the polish out, but your response to her,
that was not nice.
Apologize.
She said I was gonna get a nose job.
I didn't say that.
Job.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did. You said that you better not come in here with a nose job and an ass
I didn't
job.
say nose job. I said with your nose looking different.
Pointy. That's what you said. Pointy.
I still think you should apologize though, because that was a little uncalled for.
My feelings are hurt.
She should apologize to me.
My pearls when I heard that.
For saying I'm getting a nose job and an ass
You're not
job.
supposed to talk to people like that, Envy.
So if I don't
apologize, bro,
you gonna give me 5 things to apologize before you gonna let me come back to work?
6.
It's actually 6, sir.
6? Is that what you're gonna do?
Nah, you ain't Kyrie Irving, but I think you should apologize, honestly.
He told me, "Shut up, stupid."
I said dumbass. I didn't say stupid.
He did say that. I can't say that, but yeah, you did say that. I did clutch my.
What kind of example are you setting for your children?
He said he clutched his pearls.
Absolutely.
He clutched his pearls when I said it. She ain't gotta apologize for saying I'm gonna get a pointy nose and an ass job.
I didn't say that.
There is nothing wrong with telling dumbasses.
I did not
to
say
shut
all
up.
of that, dumbass.
See, she just called me a dumbass.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with telling a dumbass to shut up. It's just about a debate whether or not the person is indeed a dumbass.
And the only reason he got so mad and defensive is because clearly
what?
He's going to come in here looking different.
Shut up. Now I can't say shut up. Now I got 6. You know what? Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Wake up, wake up.
Wake your ass. This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Good morning, DJ Evan. Good morning, Charlamagne. Good morning.
Peace, King.
Good morning.
Peace.
Get it off your chest, bro.
Hey, I got 3 things. I'm going to make it quick because I know you're supposed to hit that end, but check this out. Why don't them Detroit rappers never mention BFB?
Okay. Good point.
No,
I don't know who
saying,
BFB is. Put me on. Who is BFB, sir? I don't know who that is. Put me
BFB the
on.
Pet Man.
He's actually, I thought he was from, he's not from Detroit though. He's from Flint, right?
Okay, yeah. I think so. I think he do be Flint.
He's actually been on Lip Service. I like him.
I got you. Hey, Charlamagne, do you ever come to the upstate anytime?
No, man, I was just saying that a few days ago to my cousin. I was like, man, I never used to go to the upstate. Greenville and Spartanburg. I think I've been there like once.
Man, you need to make your way up there one time, man.
I am. I'm going to pull up there soon for something. I'll be in the low, I'm a low country boy, man. 843. But I love the 864, though.
Last thing, I called you back in January, man. You said you were going to put me on hold to send me some books. Y'all hung up on me.
Damn, hold on. Put him on hold. You know what? I'm going to send you a Black Effect hat. I got a bunch of Black Effect hats. Eddie, put him on hold and send him a Black Effect
Hold on, brother. I got
snap back.
All right, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up. Nayi, we got rumors on the way?
Yes, and we'll talk about a biopic from a huge superstar that is on the way. The writer from Wakanda Forever and the director from Menace to Society and Dead Presidents are both on board.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Everybody, it's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk Snoop.
Listen up. It's just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
All right, Snoop Dogg has his biopic in the works at Universal, and Alan Hughes will be directing, and Joe Robert Cole, the writer for Wakanda Forever, will be writing it. So congratulations to him. You know, Alan Hughes, the Hughes brothers, Menace to Society, Dead Presidents. And, of course, Snoop is very involved in this. It's actually the first of Death Row for their films. Death Row
I can't wait to
Pictures.
see that. I think that's going to be amazing.
He said,
Yeah,
I
tough
waited a
task.
long time to put this project together because I wanted to choose the right director, the perfect writer, and the greatest movie company I could partner with that could understand the legacy that I'm trying to portray on screen and the memory I'm trying to leave behind.
Yeah, tough task for anybody to play Snoop. Like, he's a one-on-one. Very, very, very hard to capture that essence.
All right, well, I'm excited to see that. Now, Dr. Dre is listing his mansion in Malibu for $20 million. Okay, so...
How much did he pay for it?
Well, I know previously he tried to sell it. It was like 10 years ago that he tried to sell it. And that was for between $11 to $12.5 million over a period of a few months. He then took it off. So I'm not sure what his, you know what? He paid $4.8 million
Oh,
for it.
my goodness. What a flip.
But that was back in 2000. So that was 22 years ago.
Still.
That he paid that. I don't know how much he spent, fixing it up and
Even if
doing
he put
things.
even if he put $5 million into it, I mean, he's selling it for 20. Let's say he gets 18. That's a 10 million flip, 11 million flip, depending on what he gets.
I mean, that's amazing.
Woo.
So
That's great.
yes. So it's about 7,000 square foot lot. There's a private gated courtyard. It has a studio, a whole separate studio too. Looks beautiful. If anybody's interested in buying that mansion.
Sure. Yeah, sure. It's a lot of people listening to us that's very interested
It
in
might
buying
be.
that mansion.
Anybody
Yeah,
that has
sure.
aspirations, it's for sale right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and congratulations to Chanel West Coast. She had her baby girl, her and her boyfriend, Dom Fennison. They announced this last night. And the baby has an Instagram account as well. So the baby's name is Bowie Breeze Fennison. So congratulations to them.
Well, congrats, Chanel. I didn't know Chanel was pregnant. Congratulations, Chanel, and her man.
All right. And Chris Brown has teased a possible Christmas single. He was on social media. He said, I'm making a new Christmas song this year. Been too long. It's giving Christmas. So,
Okay.
I love a little good Christmas song every year.
We haven't had a Christmas song in a while, right?
Because we don't need it. Because we got Mariah Carey. And we got that 20-minute Silent Night Temptation song.
No, remember
Okay?
when they did that Dipset Christmas album?
Yeah, that was like
I do Christmas
7
in
8 years
Harlem.
ago.
That was
Christmas
good.
album.
That was, I'm saying, though,
That was good.
certain
And then,
things
of course,
we hear with Tiana.
the Run DMC joint.
Yep. But that was a longer time
Christmas
ago.
in
than
Hollis.
Yeah.
Those are the
But I
only
mean,
ones we
thing-
really have.
Yeah, all of those songs are great for the season. You know what I mean? But it's going to be hard to touch that Mariah Carey. But somebody needed to at least try, right? Somebody needed to keep doing Christmas songs in hopes that you get one of those Mariah Carey type
At least
smashes.
close. Absolutely.
And Christmas movies. I love a good Christmas movie, too. All right, now Bad Bunny is making history. He is the first Latino who has been named Apple Music's Artist of the Year. He said, when I started, I didn't have a global fan base. I'm grateful for everything I've accomplished and everything I've experienced. The Latin music movement has grown so much. So he is the 2022 Artist of the Year. Like I said, the first Latin artist to receive that award.
Well, salute to Spoiled Rabbit. He's having a great year. Dropping the clues bombs for Spoiled Rabbit.
Who the hell is Spoiled Rabbit?
Yeah, what's the...
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
It
Bad
is.
Bunny's breaking all kinds of records.
Yeah, congratulations to him.
A super talented artist. All right. And Dave Chappelle is going to be hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. Now, I saw there were reports that people were mad about that and writers were boycotting. But
It wasn't no reports. It was
well,
true.
his publicist said it's not true and that they haven't heard
Huh?
those things. So, yeah, his publicist responded to that. And
The publicist said they haven't heard those things. I mean, I saw what looks to be online outrage over Chappelle hosting SNL. Like, I saw the writers say they're boycotting. I saw people saying it's a slap in the face to have him host because they didn't like his comments about the trans community in his specials.
Dave Chappelle's rep said there was nothing to suggest that there was a boycott when they attended the writers' meetings this week. So I'm just giving both sides.
I don't think
that
Dave
was
Chappelle
their
cares either.
official response.
Nah, Dave don't care.
I don't think he cares.
I mean, and the woman who used to work at Netflix who resigned last year, she was very vocal.
All right, and his rep also said the room was full of writers. They all pitched ideas, and they seemed very excited about it. Dave is looking forward to having some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen, even if you are upset, you got to do more than tweets. You must come up with a list of 6 demands.
No, shut
and
up.
Dave should not be allowed to host SNL until he completes all 6 of those demands. If y'all start now, then Dave has about 48 hours to complete the task. And if he doesn't complete the task, he can say that he identifies as a person who has completed the task.
All right, well, here's the promo for that on Saturday.
He tells jokes for a living. He's also about to host Saturday Night Live for the 3rd time. That's more times than Eddie Murphy, and he's proud about that. Walking into Studio 8H brings back a lot of memories for Dave, like hosting when Trump won that election, or that time Dave commented on Pete Davidson's lips and called them chocolatey.
Bro! Kanan, what you doing?
Hey, what's up, Dave? I'm just narrating the promo.
It's Morgan Freeman.
I mean, I figured he does your narration on your promos, and then, you know what, as I hear it out loud, I don't really like it either, so I'm gonna stop right now. You have a great show.
And Keenan walked off humiliated and sad, dejected by one of his heroes.
All right, well, that would be
And that's how you do a Morgan Freeman impression.
Saturday.
What's interesting is SNL only feels like an event when Dave is hosting. Like the last time I think it felt like an event
Eddie
other
Murphy.
than Dave was when Eddie Murphy did it. Yep.
And Chris Rock.
Now, I mean, I love Chris, but when Chris comes back, it's always good too. It does feel like an event when Chris does.
It
But
does.
when Dave does it, it feels like an event, like must-see TV. Like
Yeah,
you
those-
got to be watching it live in the moment.
Yeah, those three, I would say. Dave, Chris, and Eddie.
All right, well, that is your rumor report.
All right. Front page news next. What are we talking about?
Yes, and let's talk about this woman. She's a university, well, she was a University of Kentucky student, and she went viral. We'll tell you why and why she's never allowed at that school again.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
This fall, a great night's sleep starts at Mattress Firm. Right now, get king beds for queen prices, queen beds for twin prices, and save up to $700 on select mattresses from top brands. Visit a store near you or mattressfirm.com today.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy and Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get in some front page news. Now in Thursday Night Football, the Falcons take on the Panthers tonight at 8:15. Now, what else we got, Easy?
All right, well, let's talk about Sophia Rosing. If you don't know who she is, she's a student or was a student at the University of Kentucky. She went viral for her racist slurs against another student, a black student. She was intoxicated and she was captured in that video striking Kyla Spring, who's 19 years old, and repeatedly calling her the N-word in this attack. Here it is.
Oh, Jesus. I did not get paid enough for this. Exactly. And you're a nigger. Thank you. Thank you. You're a nigger bitch. You're a nigger. Yeah. I got this on video. Me too.
And then she starts telling her, do my chores. It's not my fault that you're black. It's not my fault that you're ugly. And then she starts singing the N-word. And she continued even when the police showed up and handcuffed her. And she bit and kicked the cop who was arresting her also. And she also told officers she was wealthy and accustomed to special treatment. She was held on a $10,000 bond before getting released on Monday night earlier this week. Well, now she has pleaded not guilty to assault on a police officer, and disorderly conduct. Students had a March Against Racism rally at the University of Kentucky. And the university is continuing its investigation in the meantime. They did say she's been permanently banned from campus and has been banished from university grounds indefinitely. The University of Kentucky president also said, within hours of learning about this incident, we suspended her on an interim basis and moved the banner from campus during the investigation. I have also determined that she will not be eligible to re-enroll as a student. She is permanently banned from the campus. Now, for Sophia Rosing's part, she posted on social media, you guys really got me banned, recording me when I wasn't even aware of what I was doing. My whole future is over.
Just a straight up ban. Sophia don't get a list of 6 demands that she must complete in order to discriminate, to demonstrate an understanding of the situation before she comes back.
Well, she's not coming back. She's banned permanently.
She's done.
Yeah, she's not allowed back at all, period.
Let me tell you something. I hate that video for a number of reasons, but the main one is, why didn't that sister drag her ass? That sister was assaulted and had every reason to beat the brakes off Sophia. I understand we in the digital era and, y'all want to record the acts of racism, but don't be so busy trying to capture the racism that y'all don't defend yourselves against the racism.
You can see
her
that.
ass whipped.
Yeah, I don't even know if that would have even mattered. I feel like this
Yes, it matters.
is
She
more.
put her
I
hands
feel
on
like
that
this is
girl.
more painful than anything.
No, it's not. Both two things can be true because she had every right. That was a
She
free
didn't
ass
even
whipping.
need to. I feel like she didn't need to do that.
That was a free ass whipping. She assaulted that sister. That sister could have whipped her ass and she, all of this stuff still could have happened. She still would have got banned and everything. She had every right to defend herself in that moment.
All right, now Hurricane Nicole has made landfall in Florida. It's a Category 1. And so it's packing winds of up to 75 miles per hour. Some cities are still recovering from Hurricane Ian, which hit Florida as a Category 4 storm earlier. And so it's the first hurricane to make landfall in the U.S. in November in nearly 40 years. The last time that happened was Hurricane Kate in 1985. And a lot of people are getting prepared for that. Another thing to get prepared for, credit card interest rates have hit a record high. So
I said they said like 10% or something like that?
Yeah, it's the highest it's been in more than 30 years. The average credit card interest rate has climbed to 19.04%.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do. They got to fix this now because, like I said, interest rates are high. People can't use credit cards. People can't purchase cars because interest rates are high. People can't purchase houses because interest rates are high. Like, it's going to get really, it's bad, but it's going to get worse, a lot worse, especially around the time for the holidays.
Mm-hmm. And since we're talking about money, Sam Bankman, do you know who that guy is?
No.
Mm-mm.
He's the CEO of FTX. He lost an estimated $14.6 billion. That's nearly 94% of his total wealth, according to the Bloomberg Billionaire Index.
Wow.
And that's because of, what do you think?
Crypto? I have no idea. Really?
Yep. His money was wiped out pretty much overnight. Okay, he's pretty young, very eccentric personality. He would sleep on a beanbag in his office, and he made SBF one of the darlings of the crypto industry.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know, at one point his fortune was valued at $21 billion. He had promised to spend up to $1 billion to support political candidates aligned with his broader mission of preparing for future pandemics. And he spent approximately $40 million ahead of the midterm elections and then backed away from his promise, calling it a dumb quote. But now, apparently, you know, he's lost a lot of his fortune.
Jeez.
94% of it.
I have a list of 6 demands that crypto and NFTs need to complete before they ever come back into our lives ever again.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
a lot of people lost a lot of money in crypto and NFTs.
And this is the
Lord
biggest
have
wealth
mercy.
collapse ever identified by Bloomberg.
And
I mean, people was shaming people for not getting into the NFT game.
I told
at
you a
one
long
point.
time on the radio, it ain't for everybody. And because you don't do it, don't make you bad. Because I didn't jump into it. I was scared, and I'm happy I was scared.
I mean, people was shaming folks for not getting into the crypto and NFT game. I mean,
But you know,
shaming
his
them.
worth was $16 billion last week. But because rival Binance announced it was offering to buy FTX, that's what caused his wealth to vanish because he had a stake in FTX that was $6.2 billion. And so he was also had some money tied up in a different crypto trading house. So he still has $1 billion.
I would love to speak to those people that was heavy into it. How they doing now? Like, what was the brother that came up here?
Which one?
Bitcoin Rodney. I wonder how he's doing with all that crypto stuff and everything.
But the thing is that
Just curious.
some people did cash out and buy things. And so some people did come up. There's people who bought properties, who bought cars, who invested in other things.
And there's a lot of people that
didn't
lost.
hold it. And there's people that
Lost
got
everything.
in super early and did make some money.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't
I
that
wouldn't
make
say
what
it's also the timing of it and which crypto you invested in.
So if you got in and you got out, but you was encouraging other people to invest in long term, don't that make you kind of a scammer?
Well, I don't know that crypto's over.
I think so.
It's just also a lot of different currencies out there, so it was really hard for some people depending on what you bought. But there's definitely people who did come up, so I don't think it was a loss for everyone.
That's what I always thought it was a scam. Like you tell people to jump in, you jump out. You don't tell them you jumping out, and they got everything in there talking about.
It's the same thing as
growing.
buying stocks. You put a certain amount that you can afford to lose, because I don't think anybody should ever invest their all
Stocks is regulated
into
though.
anything.
Stocks is at least regulated.
I mean, every financial advisor I knew always said that it was only going to end up being like 1 or 2 cryptocurrencies that stand the test of time.
Yeah,
They
people
always
who
said
bought
that.
Bitcoin or Ethereum, certain
Yep.
things, and then there's certain places you can still use that. So
I don't knock
My
it.
question is-
I don't do it, so I don't knock it.
My question is, who's really a billionaire? Because it seems to me
Everybody.
it's just a bunch of people who identify as billionaires, but they just be billionaires on paper. Who's really a billionaire?
I identify as a billionaire.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. I'm not going to say their name, but they definitely was saying they made sure to say I'm a liquid billionaire. I ain't like this person and like that person. I got it.
all right, well, that is your front page news.
Wow. All right. Well,
What?
kudos to him. Mm-hmm. All right, when we come back, Chico Bean will be joining us. You know,
My
Chico
good
Bean,
brother,
comedian Chico
Chico
Bean.
Bean.
And we're going to chop it up with him when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Hour 105. 1051. The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest with my guy, my friend, my buddy.
Oh, wow. All of that? Wow.
Yeah, you know, this is my first time up here, man. So, you know, we gonna go here. I got some bones to pick with everybody before we. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you trying to be funny. Yeah, you trying to be funny. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. I seen DJ Envy in Houston smoking a hookah like an Instagram model. I had never seen anything like it before. I'm talking about. I thought he must have thought he was invisible or something. He was smoking it and blowing the smoke out his nose and his mouth at the same time. He was rubbing his nipples. I'm like, man, he must be smoking ecstasy flavor. Like, what type of hookah is that? Then he gonna point the hookah at me like Nick Cannon on Drumline. I'm like, nah, I'm straight, Sam. You keep that. You remember them 5 gum commercials? This is what it's like to chew 5 gum. This is what it's like to smoke ecstasy flavor. He was. I'm like, man, this
ain't
man.
even changed the filter.
Nah,
nothing.
man, he was hitting that hard. I was like, Slim on drugs now. Angela, good morning, beautiful.
Good morning.
Like, you the only person I know that got a new job and keep coming to the old one. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, when does the new job start? You keep coming back to the old one.
I promise you, I would love to start my new job, but it started in January.
In January, I know.
Listen, Chico, I was honestly about to leave before you walked in.
I know you were. Listen, Angela Leave, that's her new name. And Leonard, listen, man, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You up here every day on the biggest radio show in the world. Man.
Yes.
How come you never talk about the other show that I work for you on? Like, why don't you ever mention me on The Breakfast Club? Because you put me on some of the most, extravagant missions in the world. You had me in Queensbridge with 5 white men and camera equipment. Security ain't had no pistol. And the only other black man had on scrubs. You ain't say nothing about me. You could at least said Chico Bean made it out alive. You ain't say nothing.
He's never mentioned you.
Don't forget Brownville. You in Brownville.
If you sent me to Brown, that ain't even the worst one. He sent me to Tennessee and had me asking the real Make America Great Again white people to give me their Confederate flags. Then he had 2 Nation of Islam brothers with me like it's a chapter in that part of Tennessee. It wouldn't have been nobody that could have made it to help me get up out of there, man. Y'all terrible. I should take over this whole show. I should take welcome Chico Bean. What camera? I'm on this camera right here.
Yes.
What's up, America? You are now tuned in to Power 105. This is the Brunch Brigade. That's right, the show formerly known as the Breakfast Club. I am your host, Chico Bean, with my co-host, Lynn the Skin, Angela Lee, and DJ Ecstasy Flavor. That's right, we got a special show coming up at 9:45. We got the Light Skin Love Letter segment where DJ Envy will be reading 3 love letters. You must guess which one was written by him. The 13th caller will get a personalized hookah, personalized by DJ Ecstasy Flavor himself. This is the Brunch Brigade. Wake up!
That is a good segment because Envy does write love letters because Gia, his wife, she posts them sometimes.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Well, see, look how brilliant I am. I done gave y'all another segment.
Since we're talking about it, I don't believe sometimes that Envy really wrote them. I feel like she helps him.
I write all my love letters. Even
she would help him write a letter to her?
I don't know, because I can't see Envy like doing, like writing things nicely.
I have 6 babies.
Dang, she think you dumb. You don't even know how to write, bro.
Yeah, if you'd have seen him smoking that hookah, you'd have known he was capable of writing love letters. I'm talking about, I ain't never seen nobody smoke a hookah and rub their nipples at the same time. It was he was blowing the smoke through his teeth. I was like, yo, this dude is legendary. But that'd be a good segment.
Is this the first time Envy has actually acknowledged you? Seen you?
Well, no, he did acknowledge me in Houston.
I seen him in Houston.
He seen me in Houston. We was at the Turkey Leg Hut.
Okay.
And I think the reason why he acknowledged me is because the owner of the Turkey Leg Hut is so aggressively hospitable. He the most. He go a bottle of 1942 and 3 kids to claim on your taxes. Don't say that. So I felt like if he didn't say something to me, shout out to Led, he would have said something to him about not saying something to me.
They have a dress code there now. You see that?
They should have a dress code.
You
because
think so?
I've been there on times where it's like, you looking like you in the strip club and it's a little much, I mean, I enjoyed it, but, you got your kids. You don't want them to know what that is, so I feel them. But it's a business that, the line will be wrapped around the corner, so you think you got a line going down the street with people with thongs and the titties out and all that. You don't want people
it's like that.
to see
Kids
that.
be there. You bring people, their families and everything. My kids went, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they ain't go
I
that
get it,
day you
understand
smoking that hookah. I tell you that. They the judge you that day.
Turkey Leg Hut got hookah?
Yeah. Well,
we were in Turkey Leg Hut.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a hookah. I don't know if anybody else can get them, but they had one for Envy, the ecstasy flavor.
Dang.
So they got drinks and hookah at Turkey.
Yeah, they got drinks, hookah,
Ecstasy
everything.
flavor hookah.
I haven't been to Houston in so long.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope, man. But I'm happy to be up here with y'all.
You
man.
doing
it's my
your
first
thing,
time
man.
all the way.
You in a movie, Dirty Third?
Yeah. I shot that in Houston as well. So it's a remake of the movie that they did back in the day, and I was excited to do it because I love Houston as a city, man. It's a beautiful city, and they always show love down there. So I was excited about being in the movie. It's coming out in a couple weeks, I think.
Okay.
Not next week. You know what I mean? I think it's coming out then.
What's the most fun about everything that you're doing right now, man?
The most fun? Well, I would say the most fun is just being able to, be happy with everything that's going on. I done been through a lot. I lost my mom last year to COVID. So, when you go through that type of trauma, you really have to, kind of replace the hole that's filled when you lose your matriarch like that. And I realized that I find a lot of solace in just knowing that what I do brings other people so much joy, and the response that I get. So it's just like being in New York. I love this city because when I came up here, I didn't have anything. I was just a nobody that was trying to make something of myself. So every time I come up here, I love the feeling that I get. Even though I've, made a name for myself, I still get that same nostalgic feeling that I had when I wasn't anybody and I was trying to make it work. That's why I love New York so much. So it's just the feeling overall that I think is the best part.
You one of them rare comedians, though, that literally takes your life and brings it to the stage or brings it to whatever you do. Because I remember when your mom passed and you was telling a story that sounded like it could have been a stand-up bit, but it was real life.
Yeah, it's true story. I mean, because that's the way I was raised, man. I have a unique upbringing, to say the least. I say my mother raised me in reverse. Because a lot of the coddling and everything that you see a woman give their child, especially somebody like me, my father got murdered when I was 2 years old, so it was just me and my mom. And she was not protective in any way. She was, get out there, you got to learn how to be a man. And then once I became a man and she saw that I was functional and everything that she trained me to do, that's when she opened up to me and started letting me know all of the things that she kept to herself when I was young. So by the time she passed away, we was locked in. And I had no inhibition about talking about our relationship. Like I always say, like when she first passed away, I watched her pass away. I watched her die, held her hand, rubbed her back, and she passed away. And then I had to go home and tell my little brother that she was gone. And that next morning, we cried all night. And that next morning, we was looking at each other like, we got to get the information to take to the funeral home. Which one of us gonna search the room? Because I know that dildo in there, and I don't want to find it. I don't want to find it, bro. I know it's in there. I know my mama. It's in there. I swear to God. That's why I was like, bro, it's in there. I don't want to find it. I don't want to be. I'm serious, bro. Listen, I don't want to be. Angela, don't you have the toys that you use in your room? Yeah. Every woman has them. My mama ain't no different. Was it the rose? I wasn't looking. My brother, you gotta ask him. I refuse to go in there. But this is it's just like I said. It's just a process. I miss her every day, you know what I mean? It's I'm a walking reflection of what she made me because she did it on her own. It's hard for a woman to raise a man, and she always used to tell me, I can't teach you how to be no man. Some things you're gonna learn on your own, but I'm damn sure gonna teach you how not to be a bitch, and that's what she did.
All right, we got more with Chico Bean when we come back. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. The Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Chico Bean. Charlamagne?
Tell him how you almost swung on the funeral director.
Oh, listen, man.
What the hell?
Black businesses. Salute to Gilly. I seen him go through what he went through yesterday at the airport. He the first rapper to ever check his own bag for the police. Put that out there, Gilly. You the first rapper to ever check your own bag. Soulja Boy ain't did that yet. So you the first.
How many times has Gilly been stopped that he knew how to search his own bag?
Yeah, he knew how to search his own bag. That right there is a skill set. You know what I mean? Wallow probably told him, like, bro, I've been in jail for 20 years. If they ever tell you to search your bag, go left, right, then up, down like a cheat code. But I use the black funeral service, you know what I mean? Because my mother passed away from COVID. So, when she was in the hospital, they had her something called prone, which was on one side of her body to try to open up her lungs. So I couldn't see the other side of her face. So everybody that I called didn't have any experience with dealing with COVID deaths. This one guy that I called, he had experience. He told me every answer to every question that I had before I can ask him. So I chose to use him, but he was in New Jersey. Now, my mother passed away in D.C. I'm born and raised in D.C., of course. So when he had to come get her body, they were giving him problems on the transfer. So he called me one night. She was probably had been dead a week now. She called me like, yo, man, they giving me problems getting mom's body. Do you mind if I just sign your name and fax this paperwork over so I can get your mom's body? I said, no problem. Now, mind you, I done met him already. I done paid him for all the services. You know, next day they called me like, yeah, Mr. Bean, we were going to release your mom's body, but the funeral director signed your name as Chico Bean.
Man, stop, man.
The nigga put Chico Bean on the paper.
Was it Envy?
To get, huh?
Shut up.
It might have been, Envy wouldn't know what to put because he don't know who I am. But yeah, that's a true story. So it's like the process that I went through, you know, it taught me a lot about just myself because I dealt with so much death. You know, death was one of the first things I had to learn how to deal with, and my father being murdered. So, you know, and then my uncle got killed who was like my father. I've lost multiple people to violence growing up, you know, and death was a part of my life. So I felt like I was prepared to deal with it whenever it came, but your mother's different. Like, it, you know, it ripped a hole in me that I've been trying to fill ever since. But the process of going through planning a funeral and doing all of that changed me as a person. So I tell people all the time now that the book of my life with my mother in it has the end on it. I can't add no more chapters. So if you still have the luxury of having your mother on this plane, appreciate the fact that you can add chapters, because one day if the circle of life go the way it's supposed to go, then you're going to have to put the end on yours too. So, you know, that's just how it goes.
And didn't the director almost drop?
No. He didn't almost. Yeah, this is an exclusive. I don't think I have even talked about that before.
Oh, never mind.
No. I don't mind. Like, I'm not going to put him out there because, you know, he actually did a good service. But it wasn't him either. The dude that was transferring my mother's body, me and my manager go to, you know, view my mama's body to see before she goes up to New Jersey. And the dude who's taking her body out of the back of the van sees me and like, oh, go into Chico Bean mode, something Envy would never do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he recognized me and acknowledged me and was like, oh, So he freak out and see me walking, and then he pull her out and then drop her body on the ground.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
So then he goes to try to pick her up again, and it drops her again. And then I say, man, I walk up to him. He's sweating. I'm talking, I ain't never seen nothing like this. I mean, he pouring sweat, just dripping sweat. And I'm like, bro, you okay? You straight? He was like, I'm just so nervous. I'm like, look, man, it's somebody that's really special to me in this bag, man. You gotta get yourself together. So, you know, I calmed him down. We picked her up, put her back on the thing. My manager walked over and gave him some type of pep talk, like, if anything then fell off her in this goddamn bag, I'ma kill you. But the reason I was so calm in that manner is because it had took so long for her to get to that point. Now, mind you, if this would have happened the day that she died or the day after she died, I probably would have did something completely different in that parking lot. But the fact that I had enough time to, you know, get myself together and figure out how I felt about her being gone. And by that time, I knew that was just the remains. It wasn't anything that I needed to be, you know, he ain't punched my mom and drop her. This is her body. So I was able to keep myself calm. And it's just, you can use that as an example of, you know, just learning grace and patience, because that was a level of patience that I would have never thought that I had before I had it. So, you know, that's a true story, though. That happened.
It was nice that your mom had a chance to see you be successful, too.
That's the best part of it, man. Like, she had a chance and an opportunity to actually see me make it and be a part of my process, because, like I said, she raised me by herself. My mother was getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work every day my whole life. So for her to be able to see her son make it, I know that she loved me to death. And that's the biggest part that I've been having to feel now, is just knowing that matriarch is not here. That's the first time I've ever felt loneliness in my life, is when I lost her. You know, I don't give a fuck.
Super proud of you.
Hey, man, listen, I don't give a about what nobody think about me because of the way, you know, this is what this is. You know what I mean?
Wait, did you?
Now, come on, Angela. Why you looking like that?
I just don't know, why would you braid that?
Why would I braid it?
I thought she was about to say, why would you take your hat off?
Oh, no. I mean, both of them.
I think it's great that you are
confident enough to do it.
Yeah, because during the pandemic, I feel like that's when we really
we kicked it off. Yeah. And the reason why I did this is just to show people, man, what people think about you. If it make you happy, do it. I'm proud of my side braids. I don't give a what nobody say. And the reason why I would braid it is just because I could. I think... For real, I think the reason why I'm, you know, in the position that I'm in, as far as I'll just say the people that really are supporters of everything that I do, is because they see that it's genuine. Like, I don't care what anybody has to say about me. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm entitled not to give a about it, just like you're entitled to have it. So, you know, this is just a part of who I am at this point. And
just let it grow.
And let it grow out. I'm talking about and it's 3 hairstyles I'm going to get before I cut it. I'm gonna get a Jerry curl. I'm gonna get the Frankie Lyman, What's Love Got. I mean the Why Do Fools Fall in Love and the Big Red from the Five Heartbeats. After that, then I'm cutting it off.
For the Frankie Lyman, you probably gonna have to get like a little weave in the front.
No. I'm just gonna do the swoop over. I got enough now. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bang down all the way. You know, I appreciate y'all for helping me with hairstyles. That's nice. Y'all acting like y'all can.
He did.
I told you that yesterday. I got the PRP. Well, and I grew it out when I
did when I was doing the Highline Hairline during the pandemic. He came on there looking like the from Lean On Me. Contrary to popular belief, I am the head nigga in charge. I was like, damn, Slim, you could remake that movie all the way.
Oh man, now when we getting a Chico Bean stand-up special, or you even want to do that right now?
You need to give me a stand-up special for all them specials you be making me shoot for you.
Does he pay you well for that?
Does he what?
Pay you well for that.
Say that one more time.
Go to Brooklyn, Queens, Tennessee. Does he pay you well for that?
Say, huh?
Does he pay
that
you
ain't me.
Yeah, I was waiting on that. I'm not even gonna let you. Yeah, I don't think he pays me. I don't think he pays himself well for that. But that's probably a reason why he don't talk about it up here. You know what I mean? But
we've been at Viacom for a while. That's Viacom.
Yeah, right? I know. Yeah, but you know, we working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like we you know, of course we got the 85 South. Then we doing something special with that. But you know, a lot of the stuff that you know I've been doing is just I don't rush anything. I'm on my own clock, not nobody else's. So when it's time, it's time. But I'm working on it. You know, I got a couple of shows coming up. I'm excited about the Wilbur Theater in Boston. You know, I'm doing a run with the MGM, all the casinos. So I'm excited about that. Foxwoods Casino and all that. And so, you know, I'm prepared whenever it come. You know what I mean? Whenever it come, I'm just not going to rush it because everybody else says, you need this, you need that. Because you think about the game now. Now it's Netflix. But 10 years ago, it was HBO.
That's right.
So we don't know where the game going to go. You just make sure you stay in it long enough to be able to move whichever way.
I feel like it's YouTube now, too. When you see what like Andrew Schultz doing and all of them.
Yeah, it's all different types of platforms, you know. So the game is different. I tell people all the time. I remember when Ryan Davis was up here, he said I always used to call him stupid for living in L.A. And that was true because you don't have to do it the same way that you did it back in the Gap.
That's
like in the 90s, you had to be in L.A. or New York to get recognized. Now, all you have to do is just have a presence. And I started in North Carolina. You know, I started at the Greensboro Comedy Zone, and I told myself when I first started doing comedy that I'm going to make a presence felt where I live. And even if I go to L.A., I'll always have something to go back to because I done built the following. So that's just the way you got to do it. To all the young people out here thinking about doing this as a living, making a living off entertainment, just make a following, build your following wherever you at, and they'll come to you now. You ain't got to go to where they are.
Don't move. We got more with Chico Bean. When we come back, it's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Chico Bean. Yee.
When it comes to dating for a woman, do you think women should be independent in a relationship?
Do I think women should be independent?
While they're in a relationship.
While they're in a relationship,
you
mean
just as
50-50?
an independent human being. Like I'm self-sufficient. I can handle all these things because a lot of people talk about how women are so independent now that it's hard for them to be in relationships because guys kind of want you to be a little dependent on them.
I mean, I think independence is masked as being an adult. You're an adult, so it's certain things that you should do on your own. You shouldn't, you know, I think a lot of women are looking for men to do the things for them that their father was supposed to. You know what I mean? And the unfortunate part is you can't be looking for somebody to be your daddy and not be obedient like a child would. So the independence that men are looking for, dependence rather, that men are looking for in women, they're looking for them to be in a sense of, you know, like you seen the memes that people put out, you know, daddy hand me the salt and then the boyfriend and the father reach. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that. Men want that level of being able to provide a woman with that. But at the same time, if you're not going to look at this man as somebody who can provide you with the level of protection, assurance, you know, safety that your father would, then it's a waste of time. So your independence should come anyway as a woman, I think.
So what do you think about the bills in a relationship?
The bills?
Yeah, like is it half and half, or do you feel like you should be paying for, like what's your breakdown?
I feel like you should do whatever it is you're capable of doing. Communication is key. It's the most important part of any relationship. So if you're comfortable with paying half the bills, then do that. But if it's a man, that's, you know, something that you want to do, make sure you in a position to be able to do that.
I'm asking you, what you...
Me?
Yeah.
Well, if I would never be in a relationship, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't never want to be married or be in a relationship.
Or you don't never want to be in a relationship?
No.
Not even
a girlfriend?
No, why would I do that? That is no. Look at my man over in the corner. You wish somebody would have said that on the mic before.
He from Ghana. He want 5 wives.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. As long as you can afford them, you should be able to have them.
You don't want to live with anybody?
No. I don't. Nuh-uh. Like I said, I get most of my, interaction and relationship, dependence from the environment that I come from rather. Mm-hmm. And I watched my mother go through my whole life, never finding a man to keep it real with her and tell her exactly what it was that was going on. So I'm out here just trying to be the nigga that my mother never had. I don't have no lies to tell you. I don't have no lies to tell you. I feel like if somebody would have gave Wanda the opportunity, she would have been a hell of a soldier for somebody who was worth it, and it would have made our life easier. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't have no lies to tell you. You're not going to be the only woman that I ever. That's it. It's illogical to me to even allow a woman to think that if I love you and care about you, there's no way I would allow you to think that as a man that you are going to be the only woman that I want to deal with.
What if she's okay with you dating other people?
Well, that's cool, but the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you about that from the jump. My goal, my whole mantra is no victims, only volunteers. You'll never be a victim to no bull, only a volunteer to my truth. So you have a choice as to whether or not you want to deal with me or not, but you have to understand that you won't be the only woman that I deal with. Now, in fairness,
that's an individual thing.
You have a lot of men who say that and then be like, I do what I want, you do what I tell you. I'm also not that way.
All right.
And when it comes to women, I don't care what you do when I'm not around. As long as
a wilding out thing.
No, it's not. I ain't having no bunch of kids. You know what I mean? But salute to Nick. That can take care of him. He about to have a whole nother cast. I know that. I know what he's doing.
That's exactly what he did.
He's trying to have a whole nother cast so we can fire us. I'm hip to you, Nick.
That's right.
But like I said, I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you I can do what I want, you do what I tell you. As long as whatever you do don't bring me no problems, I don't care what you do. My uncle told me a long time ago, if you don't wake up in the morning and wash your it don't belong to you. It's yours. You're going to do what you want to do with it. As long as it ain't mad when it's my turn, we straight.
Do you take women on vacations and things like that?
No, I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that.
You spend the night?
Yeah, depending on who it is. You know what I mean? And how safe I feel with my belongings being there when I'm asleep. Yeah, I spend the night. But the thing about me, like I said, it's about honesty. Women always say they want a man to keep it 100 with them until they run into one. Most of them have never had a man keep it 20 with them, so you have no idea what that other 80% entails that you think that you're looking for. The lies hurt so bad that you just think you want the opposite. But majority of the women that I have conversations with don't want a man to be honest with them. You want a man to fit into the character that you have in your mind, and you want him to play that out in front of the world. I don't operate like that. This is what it is. This is what it ain't. You down with it? Cool. You not? Cool. I like the way I explain it is like we all are professors of ourselves, and I'm the dean of Chico Bean University. When you've been to college, you've been around. When the first thing you've been around, lend the skin. The first thing that they teach you the first thing that you do when you come into a college, classroom is they give you the syllabus. And the first week of class is you going over the syllabus so you can make a decision as to whether or not this is a class you want to take or drop. Mm-hmm. That's how I operate with women. When you meet me, I'm handing you my syllabus. This is what it is with me. You have a choice as to whether or not you want to take this course or drop it.
Would you say I love you? Have you said I love you?
I love all the women I deal with.
Hey, I ain't heard like this since Kevin Samuels.
I got it. No, it ain't. No, don't put me in that leg. Don't put me. See, there you go. Now you want to say is gonna die. You keep saying you said Kanye West gonna die. Now you gonna put me in the Kevin Samuels so the women can say, I'm not. Salute to Kevin Samuels though. I don't, God rest his soul. But I'm not one of those people who's telling any woman what they need to do. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do.
That's real.
What you decide to do based upon that is your choice. I don't have no say so in that. I just am going to tell you what I'm gonna do and I'm not gonna do. After that, it's on you.
That's my man Chico Bean.
Yeah, you trying to go and get out.
No,
I like
we
the sweatsuit. You trying to get out of here.
85 South.
You know what I mean?
To Chad send me a pack.
Hey, Angela, whenever you leave, let me know so I can come do your new job.
Oh, absolutely. Please. We got to get you on lip service. We would love that.
Oh, yeah. I got to come do that, too.
We did the live one. It got very serious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Salute to my girl, man. We worked on the radio together.
L'Oreal.
My girl, L'Oreal. That's my partner. But, ever since then, we'd have been locked in. But, yeah, I would love to come do it because, you get to asking the nasty questions and all that.
Yeah, we didn't get to do that here.
Hey, for real, I got to ask you before I go, though. This is going to be the last question. Matter of fact, it's coming up in the next segment on the Brunch Brigade. Make sure you stay tuned in. Wake up, America. Yes, sir.
All right, well, shout to Chico Bean for joining us. Now keep it locked. We got rumors on the way. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Swerve. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the rumors. Let's talk 50.
This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
50 Cent is trending. I was like, why is 50 Cent trending today? And that is because he's producing a series on Hush Puppy. Y'all know who Hush Puppy is, right?
Yeah,
who's Hush Puppy?
The African scammer.
He's a Nigerian scammer. He is going to have to go to jail for 11 years and 3 months after he was found guilty of laundering proceeds of a full school financing scam, business email compromise, and other cyber schemes. And so he had a huge following, but he defrauded over 1.9 million people, and most of them were American.
Now, how much money did he fraud allegedly?
More than $24 million.
I didn't understand that. So he frauded allegedly $24 million. He has to do how much time in jail?
11 years. And he has to do some restitution.
Only 1.7 in restitution, so he only has to give 1.7 back, and he scammed over $24 million?
You know, it's really hard. If you watch like Tinder, Swindler, and all of those, it is really difficult to get people to even do jail time sometimes with things like this when people get scammed and defrauded.
Because if he does what? If he sentenced to 11, he got to do what? 85% of the time. So he got to do like 8 years, maybe 9 years, and only has to pay 1.7, and he took 24 million.
One New York
allegedly?
law firm to wire almost $1 million. And that was for a client's real estate refinancing to a bank account that they controlled. And so it was a spoofed address that he had. So he was basically spoofing these email addresses and then getting people to wire money over.
Right.
Another person said he got $1 million from them. He allegedly faked the financing of a school by playing the roles of bank officials and creating a bogus website in a scheme that also bribed a foreign official to keep the elaborate pretense going after the victim was tipped off.
Now, I wonder, do they have to pay Hush Puppy to tell his story? I wonder what the business is with that.
That's a good question.
Now, one of his co-conspirators pleaded guilty in November to 1 count of conspiracy to engage in money laundering. He's serving 11 years also, and he has to pay more than $30 million in restitution.
Wow. Hush Puppy only got 1.7?
He has to pay, yeah. So he also wrote a letter to the judge. He said, I make no excuse for my actions, and I take full responsibility for what I've done. If I could turn back the hand of time, I would make an entirely different decision and be more careful in the choices and friends that I make.
Did you say only 1.7 million?
Yes, because he stole 24 million. Yes, it's only 1.7.
1.7 is a scammer's dream. All these scammers that be sending us emails all day long from Nigeria, they'd love to come up off 1.7.
No, he only has to pay back 1.7.
He has to pay back 1.7.
Yes.
He ain't got it.
Yeah, no, hell no, he ain't got it.
But listen, he was posting all these things on Instagram,
Private
if you guys recall.
jets, cars, jewelry, watches, everything. I followed him for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he lived.
You followed him.
Yeah, I seen him. I was like,
as long as he got a couple of months of stunting on Instagram, he lived.
He got a couple of years, I think. I think he got a year or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got a couple of years of stunting on Instagram. He lived.
He had over 1 million followers.
Now, investigators at the
and
scene.
And he got a TV show. Oh, my God.
When they got him, and investigators at the scene, they got him at the exclusive Palazzo Versace resort in Dubai. They arrested him, but they did seize nearly $41 million there. 13 luxury cars worth $6.8 million.
Oh, okay.
And phone and computer evidence, including the email addresses of nearly 2 million possible victims.
All right, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of it back.
So they seized that money right there.
Okay, all right.
But anyway,
but it does feel like I'm not mad at it, but it does feel like we're rewarding bad behavior though. Because he's a legend now. He's been a legend clearly because I guess his Instagram, but now he's really a legend because he got a TV show coming.
You kind of want
executive produced by 50 Cent.
You kind of want to see how he does it though, how he did it, how he scammed people, how he made, because you don't want to go.
They did the whole Madoff
thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to show people, and then it's also a warning if you watch something like that and then you get an email like he was sending out, you're like, oh, that's a fraud.
People are still stupid. They still wiring money like. Wiring money to buy cars, like like my dumb ass.
Well, listen, who's going to be the first crypto scammer or NFT scammer to get a TV show? Because that's coming soon.
Oh, for sure. All right, now let's talk about a conversation between Nicki Minaj and JT for the new ID magazine cover story. The two of them had an amazing conversation. And so there was a moderator there during this discussion. And so one thing that they talk about is JT just says she remembers when she first heard Nicki Minaj's music. She said, I was a delusional little girl who had this love-hate relationship in my mind with Nicki Minaj. It was because I knew how to rap always. And Nicki knew too. I was so deep in the gutter when Nicki first started. She was the round the way girl. She did the Jump Off remix. And I was like, she's so pretty. She's so hood. A couple of years later, you went into your more pop era. And she said it was a heartbreak moment for a hood girl. It was like, damn, Nicki, you left us. Then you came back with your straight hair and your sexy look. And I was like, okay, she still F with us. If you would have ever looked down my tweets, there would always be good tweets and bad tweets. That was the disconnection. So Nicki Minaj then explained it, and she told her that she articulated what other fans have felt about her music over the years. She said, no one in my life or career has ever explained what you just explained to me that way. You articulated that so well that I was finally able to understand the disconnect and some of the heartbreak that my really hood fans must have felt seeing me from the Come Up DVD and mixtapes and Pink Friday to doing Starships and Pound the Alarm.
JT was a fan, and when you're a fan, your favorite takes you on ebbs and flows, takes you on, ups and downs. That's the journey of a career. So it happens.
And then JT also said as an artist herself now, she understands why a person would pursue pop hits.
Yeah. And some albums you're going to love from a person, some music you're going to love from a person, some you won't. Some songs you're not going to like but understand why they do them. So, yeah, I get it.
And Nicki Minaj also revealed that her 5th album, she said, I'm not going to say when it's going to come out, but the album will be out soon. And she also said, I'm working on a nail design company where people will be able to buy my press-on nails with dope designs. I was already working on that before someone auctioned my press-on nail for $50,000 or whatever they spent on it.
Wow.
So. And then JT said she's returning to acting. She said, I've been speaking to our director about doing something in a movie in terms of TV. We'll see. But I love acting, and I'll never abandon acting for too long. That's one of my biggest passions as well. So she told JT she is going to act again. All right. And that is your rumor report.
All right. Thank you, Miss Yee. Charlamagne, who you giving that donkey to?
Man, 4 after the hour, we need a person named Billy Dean Fallon to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Come on.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
This fall, a great night's sleep starts at Mattress Firm. Right now, get king beds for queen prices, queen beds for twin prices, and save up to $700 on select mattresses from top brands. Visit a store near you or mattressfirm.com today.
I was born a donkey.
It's the donkey of the day.
That's time for the donkey of the day. That's pretty fun.
Charlamagne the devil?
Possibly. The Breakfast Club.
Yes, donkey of the day for Thursday, November 10th goes to 28-year-old Billy Dean Fallon. Billy Dean is an ex-Army technician and also a complete and total sucker. Well, I'm not going to call him a sucker, but what he did is some sucker, okay? I asked the question yesterday, and the question was, what do N-words hate more, reading or accountability? Well, I will ask again today without the N-word. What do people hate more, reading or accountability? I'm going to keep asking that question over and over simply because we are in the most political we're in the most apolitical anti-intellectual era ever, and nobody seems to care about their fellow man. I don't know if it's technology has made us lose all our humanity, but something has ruined our cognitive skills, because there was a time when folks had more self-awareness. Believe it or not, there was. Even people who were doing things they had no business doing at least knew what they were doing was wrong, and they were willing to deal with the consequences of it. Case in point, okay, this guy, Billy Dean Fallon. See, Billy was in an Australian club having big fun, and he met a young woman. And him and that young woman must have established some kind of connection. And for whatever reason, instead of getting a room, they decided to take Usher's advice from 2008 and make love in this club. Usher told folks that because of the way the young lady was winding and working, because of the way she was looking at him, he had to make love in this club. Sidebar. I always liked the sense of urgency in that record. Usher always made it seem like making love in the club. He made it sound like he had to poop real bad and he couldn't hold it, and he had to stop whatever he was doing to poop right now. That's how he made making love in the club sound. Well, Billy and the young lady he met must have felt the same way. They must have had that same gravitational pull towards each other, so they decided to go in the bathroom and go in the bathroom stall. That's the level of freaky and nasty I've never been. Okay, not judging anyone who's done it, but having sex in the bathroom, in a stall, at a nightclub, I barely want to pull my sexual organ out to pee in those things. Nonetheless, have sex. Also, It's a statistical fact that over the last decade in Miami, it's been an uptick of young baby girls being named Olivia or Liv for short, because unbeknownst to them, Liv nightclub was where they were conceived. Now, this is where Billy gets the biggest hee-haw, and this is when he decided to submit his will to the sucker in him. Billy and this woman in a nightclub, in the bathroom stall, being nasty, and a custodian comes in, janitors, cleaners, whatever you want to call them, a person just doing their job, making a living, doing what he loves, minding his business, coming in the bathroom to clean up God knows what. What do I mean, God knows what? We all know ourselves. We all know what comes out of our bodies. And imagine if in public restrooms we didn't have the great cleaners we do in all these establishments to make sure we don't have to see what came out of the next person's body, even though sometimes we still do. Drop one of Clues bombs for all the custodians out there. Y'all have such a thankless job, but Charlamagne and Tupac cared, don't nobody else care, because the cleaner came and knocked on the stall of the bathroom, which is the right thing to do, because if someone's in there, I'll come back later and do my job. But instead of just saying someone's in here, Billy decided to live out his UFC dreams on this poor custodian and begin to strike this cleaner for no damn reason other than he was doing something he had no business doing. Billy, you forget you were in the bathroom at a nightclub in a stall getting frisky with a young woman? Okay, that custodian was where he was supposed to be, doing what he was supposed to be doing. You were not. So by that fact alone, you and the young woman should have just said, shh, giggled a little bit, and depending which gender bathroom you were in, one of y'all should have just answered and said, somebody's in here. Instead, you repeatedly punched the cleaner, slammed the cleaner against the wall, and continued to punch him as he fell to the floor, leaving the custodian with a broken nose. What a sucker. What a sucker. All because Billy was doing something he had no business doing, so he decided to beat up the cleaner for attempting to do his job. I wish that janitor would have thrown bleach in your face, Billy. I wish he'd have thrown bleach in your face and it got in your eyes. And then I wish that custodian would have took a plunger that was just used to plunge the poopiest toilet known to man and made you tongue kiss said plunger. Stuck it right in your face. Then took some pliers and crunched your testicles with them, just like Money Mike did Damon in Friday After Next. That is what I call justice. You reaping what you sow in the exact moment you sowed it. But instead, Billy was sentenced to a year in prison, but was granted immediate parole and was ordered to pay his victim $1,500. That's it. His lawyer said he was in there becoming intimate with his partner. They were in the midst of having a rendezvous when someone started banging on the door. So Billy acted impulsively. Billy acted protectively, and he thought he was protecting himself and his partner. Please. I bet he didn't even have a condom talking about protection, okay? This is what I mean when I say nobody wants to hold themselves accountable. Billy didn't want to take accountability for what he was doing in that bathroom stall. A bathroom stall he had no business in to begin with, okay? He knows they shouldn't have been in there getting intimate or whatever his lawyer said. Okay, see, accountability is not only what we do, but also what we do not do, for which we are accountable. Billy should not have been in that bathroom stall with that woman at a nightclub, and he certainly shouldn't have put his hands on that custodian for doing his job. Please let Chelsea Handler give Billy Dean Fallon the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
All right.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, the stall that they were in was actually out of order. So it was a disabled stall. So the custodian had every right to be banging on the door saying, hey, man, don't use that bathroom, okay? Because there's nothing I can do to clean it up afterwards. Because it's not working.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Up next, Ask Yee. If you need relationship advice or any type of advice, call Yee now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Need relationship advice? Need personal advice? Just need real advice. Call up now for Ask Yee. Keep it real.
Hello, who's this?
Aisha.
Hey, Aisha. What's your question for Yee?
Hey, so my question is, or I don't have a question. I have a situation going on.
Okay.
I'm married. I've only been married for about 2.5 years. I have a wife, and I found out last week that she's been cheating me with a man. So I woke her up in the middle of the night because I did go through her phone, and she's sending like pictures and all this explicit stuff. And I wake her up, and she's like, "I'm bi." And it's just like, that's not an excuse for what you did. Like, you've done this numerous of times. I've taken you back, and we have a family. Like, I have a son. and we're working on like getting a house and stuff like that. And it's just like, this is like threw me all the way left. And it's just like, what do you expect me to do with this information? And she was like, I'm sorry. But then a couple of days later, she started to act like nothing ever happened. I think she's crazy. But and she's a Cancer. But
yo, relax.
Cancer.
I know. I'm a Charla. I know.
We have a bad Cancer here.
Yeah, she's she's crazy. And she's like, I don't want to leave. I'm going to stay here. I was like, no, this is not going to happen. Like, we're not going to be in no weird relationship where you do you and I do me. Because I told her, I was like, you didn't even give me a chance to say, I don't mind doing extra stuff. Like, if you want to get poked, we can get poked together. Like, we can have some fun. But the fact that you hid it from me and kept a secret and lied, it's just like...
And how are you supposed to trust her? Because she's done this multiple times. She doesn't seem like she thinks there's anything wrong with it. And she probably really don't think there's anything wrong with it because you're not going anywhere.
That's what she thinks. But I told her, I said, either you're moving out or you're going to wake up and we're not going to be here. Like, I'm not going to do that because I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30. And I don't want to continue to go through the same thing. And it sucks that I didn't get married to get divorced. But it's also like I didn't get married to be stepped on. Like, this is actually like one of my most faithful relationships that I've had.
It feels to me like you already know what you want to do and what you need to do. You just kind of needed to vent because people will, you can, you'll take, if somebody's like, she'll deal with it because she's dealt with it all this time, they're going to continue to do those things. And if you continue to deal with it and you don't go anywhere, why would it stop?
That's true. It's just the fact that, like, we've built so much stuff together. It's just like, why would, like, it's just a lot, I guess, to, I don't know, be on my own. I haven't been on my own since I was, like, 18 before I had my son. So it's just like, now I have to start over back from square one. And
I mean, what would you rather do? Stay in a dysfunctional relationship with somebody who does whatever they want and doesn't respect your feelings? And I mean, truthfully, if she's doing other things, that could potentially harm you too. Or figure out your life. And maybe that life is, I leave you, you straighten up, we go to therapy, we work things through, you stop doing what you're doing, or we just continue the way we are. Are you okay with continuing the way you are?
No, because I want to be able to trust her and not assume that she's going to mess with another one of her coworkers. It's not like I can tell her, work from home and stuff like that, but...
So what would you need her to do for you to trust her?
I would say stop, but I mean, it's been one too many times, so I guess you're right. Maybe it's preventing because I don't want to be treated like that. Like, if I'm not treating you that way, why treat me that way?
Yeah, people treat you how you let them. And if you're telling her this is what I need for our relationship to continue and you give her some very clear things and she doesn't do those things, then now you have a decision to make.
Yeah, okay.
You gave her the chance, you gave her the opportunity, you told her what it is that you need. If she doesn't deliver those things and doesn't respect it, then she doesn't respect you or the relationship.
That's true, and I guess I got to respect myself enough to do what I got to do, regardless of how I got to start over.
And is this what you want your son to see?
No, it's not. I would like him to see a love relationship. I mean, me and his dad didn't work out, and then his dad's in jail. And she's been in his life since he was 1.5, and he's 7 years old now.
Okay, but I don't think that's a reason to stay with somebody. I understand those things all play a factor, but you're not going to sacrifice your happiness and your respect because she's been in your son's life since he was 1.5. She could still be in your son's life if you so choose and if she chooses, in some type of capacity. But I think a relationship where you feel loved and respected is more important.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see me getting treated, but, with the utmost love and respect and things of that nature.
All right. Well, I wish you luck. And, like I said, people treat you how you let them.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And hey, y'all, I hope y'all have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right. Ask Ye, 800-585-1051. We got more Ask Ye when we come back. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Get some real advice with Angela Yee. It's Ask Ye.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, can I stay anonymous?
Yes,
course,
you can.
Yes.
What's your question for you, Anonymous?
Okay. So I have a boyfriend of almost 4 years. We have a child together. I have other kids. We've been together for a while, but I've come to a point where I really crave solitude, and I don't really want to be in a relationship anymore. Like, we've broken up multiple times, but he's like always like, I'm gonna fight for you, I'm gonna fight for our love, I'm gonna fight for this.
Oh Lord.
But really, I just want to be by myself. I don't want to live with a man right now. I just want to be by myself, focus on me, focus on my goals. And I don't know how to tell him that because it's been so long.
All right, well, a couple of things here. Why have you guys broken up so much? Is it just because you want your solitude?
That amongst other things. Like, sometimes, you know, I just feel like his end of the bargain, he's not holding up. Like, you know, can't keep jobs. You go in and out of jobs. You know, it's sometimes 50-50, but it could be anywhere between 100 and 0 and 60-40. And all of the time, I am the majority. Okay. And I don't want that. I didn't grow up like that. My parents never. My dad did everything. And not to say that, you know, you're going to base it off of what you grew up on, but that's a good foundation.
Okay, so that's a need that you have that's not being met.
Right.
And so what are some positive things about him so we can weigh both?
He's very kind. He's very generous. And as far as if I get upset about something, he's very understanding.
Okay. So he's a good, kind, sweet person.
Right.
You like him as a human being. Are you in love with him?
No, I'm not.
Because I feel like at times we're doing a disservice to the other person who we're not in love with by staying with them. Because if you think he's generous, nice, sweet, and kind, you should want him to have somebody that loves him and is in love with him the way that he needs that. And you're also, by staying with somebody who you're not in love with, preventing them from being able to live their best life too. It's not necessarily that you want solitude, it's just that you don't want to be with him.
That's a good one. I don't know, because I have other things that I really want to focus on. I mean, I have multiple kids, so it's one of those things where I do want to just focus on my kids or focus on myself. You know, I have goals, and I feel like sometimes just being in our relationship hinders it. And I know that I'm not as happy as he is.
Right. And it's not even that it hinders it. You want it to actually help what it is that your goals are. It's for you to be able to go out and do what you need to do. Like you said, you have multiple gigs. Do you have multiple gigs because you have to make money, or do you have them because you love all the things that you're doing?
I've had goals that I have put off for years, and I finally want to get back into it, but I don't feel like I can because my focus isn't there.
Okay. And at times in life, it is time for you to be selfish. And being selfish sometimes might mean, you know, if you're not bringing to the table what I need you to bring to the table as a partner. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and they're going through a breakup, and they were just discussing how their previous partner wasn't able to fulfill them the way that they needed to and support their dreams and goals the way that they needed. And the new person that they started dating is doing all of those things and is a relief. And I just think that, you know, maybe he'll get it together, maybe he won't. But the other risk that you're having is because you're probably thinking he's a really nice guy. I don't want to completely cut him off. What if I change my mind and I want him back? Because you're used to him. Right. And you do think he's nice. You know, y'all have been together for 4 years, and so you're comfortable with that. And you might be holding him back by enabling him knowing that, like you said, he's happier than you are in the relationship. You're handling a lot of responsibilities, and financially it feels like you're more stable than he is.
Yes.
And maybe without you, it'll force him to step up.
I agree. And so even with me breaking up with him, because we've broken up multiple times and not gotten back together, but I don't know how to get him to understand that I really don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't want to live with a man. I want to be on my own. And I know you can't necessarily be on your own because I have kids, but on my own as in I don't want to live with a man no more. It's not comfortable for me.
Well, move out. That's the first step. Move out and do it for real.
It's my place.
Oh.
It's my place.
All right. Well, tell him he has to move then, and give him a date by when he has to move, and you guys can still have a civil, cordial relationship.
Okay.
But just understand he might move on and date somebody else. So if you change your mind, it might not be any going back. If you're okay with that.
And I am. I'm okay with that because I know that when I'm ready, I won't be alone. But I just...
You don't want him.
Right now is not a good time. Yeah.
It's not even right now. You just don't want him. You're not in love with him. You don't want him,
Yeah,
but he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
All right.
We've been through a lot. So at this point, I mean, everything we've been through, everything we've been through is just finally, like, coming back, and it's like, it's enough at this point.
Yeah, and you're going to end up resenting him and being bitter. So it's time for you to just be like, babe, go out there, live your best life.
Thank you, Yee.
You're welcome.
All right, ask Yee, 800-585-1051. We got rumors on the way, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
All right, well, Queen of the Dancehall, Spice, has given her health update. There were rumors that she was in a coma, that she was dead, that she almost died, but she is back on social media, and she said, I suffered a damaged hernia a few days ago that sent my body into sepsis. As a result, I was rushed to the hospital for immediate surgery. As you know, I've been off social media for a while to rest mentally. So little did I know that during my medical scare, it was already being said that I had a heart attack, I was in a coma, and I also died. But none of that is true. However, I'm still recovering from what really happened. So thanks so much for all the prayers and concerns. Please take great care of yourself. Eat, live, love, laugh like it's your last day.
Thank God she's doing okay.
Yeah, people were saying that she went to get her body done, then went into a coma, but she had a hernia, guys.
Sending healing energy to Spice.
All right. Now let's talk about the baby. He is responding to people who are saying that he fell off, that there's low ticket sales, that he was doing this buy one, get one free, and his venues were not selling out. He did post a video of himself in front of a sold-out audience, and then he also did this skit.
Damn.
Hey, yo, what happened to your leg?
I was at the top and I fell off. Help me up.
All right, so he posted a picture of himself laying on the ground. He said, I fell off, but nah, for real, man, God is great. I ran this ish up from nothing and still stand firm on morals and principles. I'm blessed and filled with gratitude no matter what.
Well, nobody stays at the top forever, and as Hov said once upon a time, you only that white hot thing, that white hot new thing once. After that, it's just about being consistent. That's it, about being consistent in the longevity of your career.
All right, now let's talk about these Twitter verifications and verified accounts. So, there's different accounts that you can get. You can pay $7.99 a month for the Twitter Blue subscription service.
Genius.
Right, so users are paying for that, and many blue checks do already belong to celebrities, businesses, and journalists to show that they are verified. But now that they have this pay for a blue check service, some people have been doing spoof accounts. Now, this LeBron James trade demand hoax is all part of this whole Twitter checkmark chaos. Somebody went and bought the handle at King James and paid $7.99 a month for it, but with a Z at the end instead of an S for King James. And posted, I am officially requesting a trade. Thank you, Lakers Nation, for all the support through the years. On to bigger and better things. The kid from Akron, I'm coming home. And so there were some other spoof accounts made of other people, ESPN insiders and baseball players, hockey players, so on and so forth.
That's going to be a huge problem. And the blue check is going to mean absolutely positively nothing now. Because, like you said, anybody could buy a blue check. It doesn't matter if you're that person or not, and you can just make things up.
So now they're trying to say there's going to be some type of double verification in order to do this?
They want their money. They going to get their money.
People fell for spoof accounts and fake tweets when they didn't have this verification. So, of course, they're going to fall for it when there is the verification. And anybody who thought that these idiots weren't going to pay for those blue checks, you're out of your mind. Of course they would.
All right. Now, Shine has launched Howard University scholarship that he's naming after Diddy. He said, I am extremely happy to announce that Sean Diddy Combs Belize full scholarship to Howard University, ensuring access to education for those young people who are financially challenged is the only way Belize will ever realize her full potential. Education has always been extremely important to my dear brother Diddy, and I thus, in that vein, asked Diddy to make Belize a part of his philanthropic support for his alma mater, Howard University, so that at least one Belizean student can get the benefit of attending one of the United States' most prestigious HBCUs. I thank Diddy for always supporting my efforts to help Belize in every way possible.
And Diddy has an honorary doctorate from Howard. He did go to Howard, but he
didn't graduate.
Got an honorary doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Correct.
So,
all right. So you have to have a 3.0 GPA, write an essay about the field you're pursuing, how you'll use this degree to help Belize, come from a financially challenged household, and you must return to Belize after you conclude your studies and make your contribution to the development of our nation.
Mm-hmm.
It makes perfect sense. And little baby is opening up his own barbershop. So congratulations to him. Construction is underway. He posted a clip and he said, I'm going to show y'all once it's done. And yeah, congratulations. He said barbershop, Killer Mike has already opened one and said that barbershops are one of the most successful businesses in our community, yet there's no real organization in terms of franchising. So I had the idea that I would like to see a series of barbershops, whether privately owned or franchised, that you knew when you landed in the city, I could go to this particular barbershop and I get this level of customer service. So now little baby's opening one.
Okay.
Yeah, salute to Killer Mike. Drop on the clue bombs with Killer Mike. Killer Mike he got more than one, though. He got a couple swag shops.
Yeah, so he's opening.
Because one is in the Hawks Arena, I believe.
Yeah, one is in the Hawks Arena. Yep.
Yep, so congratulations to them. It's Baby's Barbershop.
Congrats to little baby.
All right, and that is your rumor report.
All right, thank you, Miss Yee. Now, don't forget, November 27th, I need Florida, Georgia, Memphis, Alabama to pull up my car show November 27th in Huntsville at the Von Braun Center. All right, if you haven't got your tickets, get your tickets. Kids for 5 and under are free. Amusement rides, games for the kids. I mean, it's so much. It's going to be a family fun day. It ends off the Thanksgiving week, all right? So I know cars from 50, Fab, Bun B, a host of others. We got a lot of surprises. So if you haven't got your tickets, definitely pick up your tickets. And again, kids 5 and under are free. Now, Charlamagne, your show's on tonight. Who's on the show?
Hey, man, yes, a new episode of Hell of a Week comes on tonight at 11:30 p.m. right after The Daily Show on Comedy Central. Tonight, we got a great panel that consists of New York Congressman Jamal Bowman, Neil Brennan, who has a fantastic, phenomenal new stand-up special on Netflix called Blocks. Really, really incredible. And Ida Rodriguez, the great Ida Rodriguez, will be joining us. And my man D.L. Hughley, he'll be joining me tonight as well. So 11:30 p.m. on Comedy Central right after The Daily Show. Tune in live, DVR us, watch us on Paramount Plus, whatever you feel like doing. But just see you tonight.
All right, well, let's get to the People's Choice mix. Today would have been Pun's birthday, so let's celebrate his life. I'm going to start the mix off with some Pun. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. Your mornings will never be the same.
When it's time to get with someone special, the best way to do it is with Magnum large size condoms. That gold foil wrapper is a badge of honor, and it means you're protected. And you take care of things with comfort. Accept no substitutes. Bring the pleasure with the gold standard. Magnum large size condoms. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. All right, it's time to get up out of here. Charlamagne, you got a positive note?
Yeah, and before we get to that, man, I want to tell everybody, make sure you tune in to Hell of a Week tonight, 11:30 p.m. on Comedy Central, right after The Daily Show. We got a great show for you tonight. Our panel consists of Congressman Jamal Bowman from here in New York City, my man Neil Brennan, who has a phenomenal stand-up special out right now on Netflix called Blocks. Oh my God, if you like the Neil Brennan's Three Mics, you're gonna love Blocks. Like, it is the best stand-up traumedy special I've ever seen. You should go check it out. And the great Ida Rodriguez will be joining us tonight, as well as my man D.L. Hughley. So join us tonight at 11:30 p.m. on Comedy Central, right after The Daily Show. Now, the positive note is this. The first step to healing is acceptance. Okay, you have to accept the true colors that people show you, no matter what you thought they were or how they used to be. Stop romanticizing people who are hurting you. Repeated mistakes aren't accidents. That's their behavior.
Breakfast Club, bitches! Y'all finished or y'all done?